Good morning,
Good
Anton.
morning.
Good evening, Nancy. Oh, it's
Yes.
awesome to be with you today.
That's why
Yes.
it's the awesome planet.
Good morning to all the people watching on the live stream and good evening. We have a very special guest. Please join us as we talk to Editha Singian talking about recipes, paintings, ano pa, ang dami, very colorful culinary story. And please join us in our discussion of the entire career of this culinary, legend in this industry, talking about recipes. So my name is Anton Diaz, founder of Our Awesome Planet, together with the Nancy Lumen Reyes, known as the Adobo Queen. And this is Awesome Live with Editha Singian. Can you do a short All right, game. So maybe for to let everybody know, maybe Miss Edith, if you can, do a short introduction. And how did you start? Because you have a very colorful culinary career, and maybe just for one moment, paano ba nagsimula to? And if you can share us with all the people watching in our awesome planet and with Nancy's
Well,
friends.
I'm from Binyan, Laguna, and then come high school, my siblings and my parents decided to send me to Manila for high school. So, to make the story short, at age 15, I met my husband, and he became my boyfriend. I really wanted to take up medicine because they belong to the family of doctors. So, mas higit na, boy, I passed the exam for the College of Medicine. And then he said, no, 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 I want you to be a housewife. Oh my God. My first choice was medicine. My second choice was foreign service because takochera ako. And now telling me to be a housewife. My sister is a home economist, so definitely I cannot take a Bachelor of Science in Home Economics. So my choice was Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition. Wala akong kaalam-alam, just to be able to please him. And I learned that that his mother cooks very well. So I tried my best to cook well. Sabi niya, I just want you to be a housewife. Housewife, to be a homemaker and do shopping na lang ba? Magandang buhay yun, ano? But anyway, I'm quite happy with my journey as a, not as a nutritionist, ayaw din niya ako maging dietitian kasi yung early morning duty sa hospitals, ayaw niya nun. So I chose the field of food. And I took up Master of Science in Foods. So, yun ang aking journey.
So, na-impress mo ba siya? Na-impress mo yung mother-in-law mo?
Oh my God. During the first few months, I tried to bake sponge cake. Oh, the angel food cake, my piece de resistance, I suppose. And then his comment was, ano to? Adobe cake?
Sobra naman si Ed, ha?
Yeah. Picky.
Yeah. And then, I think...
Well, I tried to learn the home cooking of his mom, especially the chicken relleno and the embutido, which I was able to standardize and pass it on to my children and nieces and nephews.
Actually, dito sa, if this is the book of Edith, which I love so much, I brought it here with me.
And what is that?
Thank you.
Sweet Temptations.
Okay.
And this is her foolproof recipes. Pero here she said, through the tummy and up to the heart, that is the tried and foolproof way to keep a man.
Ganun ba yun? Ganun ba talaga yun?
Yes, dapat lang. It's through your tummy, Anton.
So kailangan marunong. So can you tell us about this book? What's the story of this book? So these are all your recipes on
You know, I
desserts.
did not have a hard time doing that cookbook because I worked at the Nestle Test Kitchen for almost 5 years, doing recipe development, taste testing, standardization of the recipes, recipe writing, cooking demo, and food photography. Well, with recipe development, during those days, wala namang so much magazines about cooking, like the Cook magazine. Not so much cookbooks. I would remember only Enriqueta David Perez of Filipino cuisine, and I think Maria Rosa,
Yeah.
and of course, Nora Dasa came out in 1969. And then the magazines there were purely lifestyle magazines, like women's magazines, graphics, liwayway. But anyway, uh, if ever the lifestyle magazines will bring out recipes, they usually came out from the test kitchens then. Apat lang naman kami test kitchen ng araw eh. One is of course, the Nestle Test Kitchen, Kraft Test Kitchen, Liberty Flour Mills, which is now Maya Test Kitchen, and the Republic Flour Mills Test Kitchen. So, kami yung nagpapadala sa mga lifestyle editors ng mga recipes, and we would be so happy pag napalagay ang aming recipes in the center page. So, I keep on developing recipes every month kasi I have to send about 3 recipes. So I develop around 5 recipes a month.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 recipes a month kasi nagpapadala ako sa Homemakers Club ng recipes, 2 savory, isang sweet, no? And they depend so much on the test kitchens for the recipes at wala namang masyadong cooking schools nung araw.
Pero ano
Yeah.
yung mga padala mo when you say test kitchen, talagang tinetest nyo. Kasi like,
Yes.
is it like pag ginawa nila, it's tried and tested. Foolproof,
Yes,
that's
yes.
also your word, right?
Tried and tested. So I'm so proud of my cookbook. You know, the measure of a good cookbook is the recipes you really can rely on it with good results, and you can, I would say the recipes, the standardized recipes should only be a guide. You can tweak it the way you like it, and then it becomes yours. It becomes your recipe.
How do you go about doing a recipe, testing it? How many times? Kasi like America's Test Kitchen, they do it siguro 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
Yeah, you know,
Wait,
as I said, wala naman noong.
Oh, wait daw.
Wait, hindi. I want you to answer the recipe kasi you're parang the OG of recipe, creating recipe and testing, no? The original gangster in here in the Philippines, no? But I wanted to say hi to people watching. Esther Connor, watching now. Sweet Sherry, watching from Tokyo.
Wow.
And then Christina Kasingal, beautiful Thursday, our awesome planet. Awesome true chef, Editha Singian. All right. Sige. So, I'm really interested, or maybe give us tips also on recipe testing. Kasi I know right now, that's really hot now. A lot of people are creating their own recipe. And also comment on standardization, di ba? There was this
Yes.
effort to do standardization of adobo. Maybe just comment on the entire recipe. Testing
Yeah.
and standardization.
Kasi, you know, doing recipe development, I cannot rely on our cookbooks, no? So I have to rely on Betty Crocker, on Julia Child, Martha Stewart, joy of cooking. And then for recipe development, I relied so much on good housekeeping and family circle. yan lang ang mga, you can really rely on the recipes that they publish, no? But you know, I have to tweak them to suit the Filipino palate. Siyempre, mga American na uh, writers yan that I have to make adjustments para sa mga Filipinos. So, I try them. As I said, I write them on my kitchen counter because I have to write down the volume. No? I taste test, and then pag hindi ako satisfied, I test it again. And then for the second time, I'll make adjustments. And after the adjustments, hindi pa rin pwede, I give up. But anyway, after taste testing and it comes out good, I ask the panel of judges to taste test. During those days, I usually ask the managers of the different products. No? But nowadays, when the food companies, local and imported ones, ask me to develop recipes for them, I ask my children to try them. My God, my son, my eldest son, Joey, pinaka-picky yan. But whatever it is, I listen. I listen very well to their comments, and then I adjust it, no? Luluto na naman ako niyan. So that will suit their comments, no? And then I will present it to them again. And then pag okay na, that's the time I will write down the recipes, the standardized recipes.
What about recipes when you started from scratch, talagang zero? You have to create and invent a recipe.
Yes, I have to. Sometimes we get a chance to eat and we appreciate the food. Of course, they will not share the recipes. So I really try it hard to duplicate it or even better than what I have tasted.
So, paano, how do you start? Dito kasi ang uso ngayon, recipes made from scratch. So talagang they have their own ingredients and they start from scratch. Talagang basic.
Yeah, it's basic. Well, if you have a background in cooking, kahit home cooking, that would be easy. Pero paano naman yung mga iba na talagang nangangapa, no? And it's hard for them to think of how to cook, how to manage the kitchen. So they usually resort to the Mr. Google. Mr. Google, I would say.
Now, we have a question from Henry. No, we'll shout out to people watching. No, of course, Wyatt's. Hello.
Hi, Wyatt.
Oh, hello, Wyatt. Hi.
Annabelle Lantada, Henry Brolagda, hello.
Hi,
Chidoro
Henry.
King, watching now. Belle, hello. Kati is so proud watching my famous dear friend Edith.
Oh, thank you.
And Regina Tolentino
Regina.
Newport. I'm watching now.
That's Reggie. Hi, Reggie.
So Henry has a question. Henry has a question. When you make new recipes from Henry Brolagda, do you consider local ingredients as the most important in the recipe?
Of course. And as much as possible, seasonal. As much as possible, seasonal.
What do you mean as much as possible seasonal?
Whatever is available in the market that is in season. Let's say for summer, you expect more vegetables.
So,
and the fruits, I love the fruits. Sa bagay, frutas ngayon, hindi na seasonal, ano? Unlike before, when I was young, makikita mo mangga pagka lang summer, santol from July, lanzones from October, ay ngayon, all year round. We have fruits.
Okay. So let's
how
say,
many times do you test the recipe before you finalize it or before you standardize? How many times that it undergo testing?
For me, usually, mga 4 to 5 times.
Is it by weight or measure? Alam mo naman, yung iba ayaw na mag-weigh. Gusto nila measure 1 cup, 2
You
cup.
know, not all have digital weighing scale at home, di ba? At saka hindi naman yan galing sa mga culinary schools. Yung mga chefs, they came from the culinary schools, they are fond of putting out recipes in grams, no? Ako, I prefer volume in cups, tablespoons, and then I put the number of grams if necessary, no? But normally, nilalagay ko yung puso ko sa mga ordinary homemakers. Nilalagay ko puso ko na hindi nila ako naiintindihan. They should be able to understand what I'm talking about, di ba? As simple as the weight. I'm sure all of them, they have measuring cups and tablespoons, no? So I prefer volume in cups and tablespoons.
That's okay.
Unknown caller.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Before I have actually a lot of questions, but let's greet the people watching.
Hello.
Hiro.
So let's greet Etienne Lily watching, Sweet Cherry. I love listening about culinary. And of course, Catherine Blas, you. Hello. Hi, Tita Edith Singian, Chef
Hi,
Nancy.
Catherine. Hello.
Edith, how do you do heirloom recipes naman? Yung mga walang recipe, have you done that in your career, and how hard it is to like document those orally transmitted recipes?
I came from Binyan, and there are so many heirloom recipes. I tried twice posting it on Cook Magazine. I would say Binyan cuisine is soul food. It's home cooking passed on through generations, and we have our own repertoire in Binyan that can compete with other regional recipes. Like the adobo, iba yung pag-adobo namin ng chicken. Well, I would say, Miss Nancy, I prefer the mixture of chicken and pork in adobo with atay ng baboy or atay ng manok and with hard-boiled quail eggs. Probably the difference is puti yung aming adobo, pero it's not puti because we put kasubha. Kasubha is the local, ano yan, what do you call, saffron. But it's local saffron. Kasubha. I put it on top of the lead. Pag nagpapalambot ako ng adobo, while simmering, I put the kasubha on top of the lead, sa takip, for it to dry up. And then, pag natuyo na siya, I would crumble it and put it inside the simmering adobo. So, yun, nagiging dilaw siya. Pero, I miss very much my childhood food, it brings back so much happy memories. I miss eating the adobong palos. Do you know the palos? The freshwater eel. And nililinis namin yan ng asin or what do you call this? Abo, just like the ito. But we make paksiw the palos, and then after that we make the bawang, sibuyas, kamatis, and then put back the palos with a little of the paksiw. What's fascinating about it, we thicken it with paborita. Below the crackers, we call it paborita, and then we make dik-dik. Well, I would substitute it with hacobinas just to thicken the adobo. And that is a good one, Nancy. You can include that in your upcoming adobo.
Teka. Ano mo, baka tayong dalawa nakaka-relate. Ano mo si Anton, baka mga 20 years younger than us yan.
and then he's asking about heirloom recipes. Oh my God. Yeah, if I will say, what words will I use? Basta hindi makakaintindi si Anton.
Yung, kwento mo yung adobo. I mean, the dinuguan.
Di dinuguan. Naman, eksperto ako dyan.
Yes.
I use the mascara. And then
Parang sisig.
yeah,
Yes.
the mascara, and then the tito, the stomach of the pig. Tapos, of course, you boil them and then slice it into cubes. I make gisa in bawang sibuyas. And what's interesting, yun ang gusto marinig ni Nancy, I always put pandan. Yeah, I bundle the pandan para mas mabango ang dinuguan. And the secret of the dinuguan is once you add the dugo, the blood, and I use a mixture of 3/4, about 70% pork blood and 30% beef blood kasi mas maitim ang mayroong beef blood. And then once I started putting yung mga dugo, wala akong tigil na kahahalo yan. That's the reason why my dinuguan is so smooth. That's the secret when you make the dinuguan. You keep on stirring it until the blood is cooked.
One thing kasi, Anton, with Edith, she has so many cooking secrets that you will really gain from. And because her favorite word is foolproof, when she says that, you really do it. It's really true. It really
So
works.
saan ba matitikman yan or saan ba makikita
Ay,
yung mga
nako,
recipe?
after. When the pandemic is blown away, let's get together, Anton. And if you want to send me your favorite dish, and then I'll try to make a recipe for you. Your favorite dish. Ayan.
Okay. Pero naka-documents, may all the recipes ba? Like the dinuguan is in another book or wala?
Yeah, I usually share that when I do training sa mga ko, sa mga chefs. I do training in restaurants, hotel, and resorts. No, you know, when I train chefs, I bring with me yan. Kilala ko ni Nancy when I did training at Pino Restaurant of Joel del Prado in Cebu with Louis Lair. I always bring standardized recipes. Why? Mas madali akong mag-training pagka meron akong standardized recipes. And I'm definitely sure na pag-alis ko, alam nila ang kanilang lulutuin, di ba? And then another thing why I love standardizing the recipes, like I said, in my cookbook, standardized yan ha. Lahat yan ginawa ko when I was the home economist. I like I like cookbooks na you can depend on it. Na pag ginawa mo ay talagang mahusay, no? And I love also the standardized recipes. Dumadaan ng aeroplano. But anyway, I love standardizing recipes because of easier sa costing and the yield. Pagdating sa yield, you know, they're committed to my memory. I manage the cafeteria and executive lounge of JMT building, the Tuason building along Ayala Avenue. I manage the restaurant, the cafeteria of the National Economic and Development Authority from Padre Fabra Ortigas Center. I manage the La Casita at the College of St. Benilde. And then I manage also the doctor's lounge of medical, Doctors for Medical City, the ABCs on that, and the Medical City. And for catering services, I would say that was my bread and butter. And I am so proud. I was one of the official caterers during the World Youth Day, during the Papa visit of Pope John Paul II in 1995. You know, I was doing 10,000. I was doing 2,200 lunch, 2,200 dinner packs for 10 days. For 10
How
days.
did you do it?
You know,
Galing,
I asked Ramona. She was the marketing director then of Jollibee International. So I asked her to go on leave, and she handled the logistic, and I handled the kitchen. Kaya ngayon, if you will ask me about the yield, I tell you, wala akong calculator. Even in the market, I know very well how much will I buy. I know very well that a kilo of rice will produce, it's good for 12 to 14 people. I know that dalawang kilong isda na may tinik can produce 1 kilo of fish fillet and good for 20 people. I know that a kilo of satanghon pagka-buffet yan, kaya niyan ang 40 people, so with macaroni salad. I know very well that yung serving ng Jollibee and McDonald's, a kilo of spaghetti will produce 25 servings of that.
Nako,
Okay.
everybody should listen and take notes of that. Because you don't
You
have
know
to
what,
force it anymore. Sinabi na lahat ni Edith.
you know what my daughter
Um,
said? You know what my daughter said? Mama, why don't you give a lesson on catering to teach them on menu planning, menu development, and also of course, the yield. Problema nila yan. Ako, ang yield ko, I give only 10%. Kung 100 yan, I bet you it's good only for 110 to 120. Walang sobra, walang kulang.
Galing, galing ah. Wait, we have a question from the YouTube channel. Pero Tudor King said, Edith, dinuguan is my favorite dish. Please send me your recipe. Thanks, my friend.
Sure, sure. We used to work together at Azure Hotel in Angela City. He was the manager. I was the one handling the kitchen. We worked together at Azure Hotel. Hi.
Can I may dadagdag ako about the dinuguan of Edith because we featured her in our TV show before. We called it Black is Black kasi nga dinuguan. You know, when we arrived, ang lamig ng dugo. The dugo is really cold, huh? So she told us to, okay, get the pandan leaves and press it down and mash it there on the blood so that it will hindi magbubuo-buo. And you know, I still do that to this day.
Galing ah.
Okay.
Okay, wait. We have a question. Mga shout out lang muna. Emma Caro said, galing mag-calculate.
Thank you.
Maybe that's a subject of a new book. Sabi ni Chef Wyatt, ratios, proportions, and costing. Pwede. Di ba? Pero may question si Sweet Cherry. Sabi niya, when you are developing recipes, how do you change some ingredients if
Good
it's not
question.
available abroad? Kung hindi available sa Houston, paano ba yon? Or do you take that into consideration?
Well, I always take that into consideration. Kaya either I use the word in my recipe optional or I give so much substitutions. I take that into consideration.
For example, would that be lemon will substitute for calamansi? Ganun ba yan?
Yes. But of course, for the lemon, you're after the smell of the zest.
Okay. So, marami pang ibang substitution that you should really do your book. And also sometimes it's not recipe by measurement, sometimes it's by ratio na lang, ano? Diba?
Yeah, pero I would suggest, lalo na kung baguhan lang kayo, measurement pa rin until makabisa mo na. But to be honest, especially in baking, I never rely on my memory. I always have the cookbook in front of me. Never rely on your memory when baking. Malimutan yung baking powder. Oh my God! Malimutan niyo the procedure on how to whip the eggs. Oh my God!
Do you have any special tips on baking? Like how do you make a pie crust flaky by adding vodka? Totoo ba yon? Vodka, vinegar?
I always share this pagka mga cooking shows. My secret in doing a very, very good crust is a mixture of 1 cup cream cheese, 3/4 cup of butter. That's all. So efficient, so tasty, hindi siya dumidikit sa pan. It's a mixture of cream cheese and butter. That is talaga 100% sure ako, you will be happy with the result.
What about the crust?
That's it. That's the crust. A mixture of cream cheese and butter.
What about flour?
I add flour. I add flour with the cream cheese and the corn, but it's not committed to my memory. But it's in my cookbook. It's in my cookbook.
Wow,
It's not
I didn't know
committed.
that, huh?
Yeah, you look at yung chapter ng mga pies. Yeah, try to read the recipe.
Okay.
Okay.
It
Now,
has cream cheese.
we have, I think you'll be sharing, maybe you can describe this recipe that we'll share with the people watching, no? And very timely for the season, for this coming season. Can you tell us about this, your, hamon ni Editha?
Wow.
Yeah, hamon ni Editha. So timely for Christmas. I really wanted Chinese ham, pero alam mo naman, the Chinese ham is so salty, and I cannot finish one leg of ham. So for this, I used the liempo, without the skin, a good probably 1.5 kilos of liempo without, and then you remove the bones, yung mga buto, no? And then I do dry marinade. I marinate it in a mixture of egg powder, brown sugar, and salt. I refrigerate it for 3 days, and I keep on turning it. So after 3 days, hinuhugasan ko yung mabuti, and then I boil it in a mixture of pineapple juice and beer. But before I do that, I tie that with a string. Kaya bumibilog siya. Para siyang mechado. You tie it with a string, and then you put it in a casserole enough to fit. Boil it in a mixture of pineapple juice with beer. Well, what else? I put cloves and cinnamon sticks, and that's it. I boil it not more than 1 hour. Mga 45 minutes to 1 hour lang. Kasi ang pangit mag-slice ng ham pagka overcooked siya. So time nilang yan na yung 1 hour, tender enough, cooked enough.
That's good for business na. It
Yes.
shelf life. The shelf life is good. Shelf life.
Shelf life? Oh, that can keep in the fridge for 10 days.
Okay. So that's one good thing. And then here's the cheesecake recipe. Yeah, as you said, that her crust involves graham crackers, and then you put powdered whole milk, and then
Yeah.
butter and milk and full cream milk in the crust. See, I've never tried that. And then the filling would be, of course, your cream cheese, sugar, powdered whole milk. Then that's what gives it the volume and the texture. Yun ba yun?
Yeah. And you can put the whatever toppings that you want. That's the cheesecake recipe. But the other one I was talking about, the crust, Nancy. Can you mention the crust? I think it's here. About the crust that I make use of cream cheese. Probably they will be interested to write it down.
Okay.
Um,
Where is that? Imagine all the listeners
the
now will
Vienna
get
pastry
free
crust,
recipe.
it's page 141, Nancy.
Page 141.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You
Can
mentioned
you show
them.
it?
Vienna pastry crust. Okay, guys who are listening, 3/4 cup unsalted butter, chilled and cubed, or 1/2 cup butter plus 1 1/4 cup compound butter, and then 1 cup cream cheese, 2 cups all-purpose flour, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. You have to try this because it is going to be really foolproof. I
Yeah,
promise
you
you.
just drop it. you rest it in the refrigerator overnight, preferably. And then you can roll it out on the thickness that you decide. It's very good for tartlets, the small tartlets. I use it for my, what is this? Cranberry tartlets. Kasi madali siyang tanggalin sa mold. Yun ang napakadali. And it tastes so good. You can just imagine the mixture of butter and cream cheese. Foolproof yan. Foolproof.
Yeah. Imagine, Anton, having cream cheese and butter in... Ay, butter pwede pa, pero adding pala cream cheese in a crust. Wow.
Yeah.
Do that.
No, gusto nga natin. So, nabibili pa yung Sweet Temptations, no? That's available, no? The recipe.
It's available online at National Bookstore. Nationwide.
Okay. That's good. We'll share the recipe. We'll post it as part of this stream.
Okay.
The hamon, kasi the hamon is really, very timely. So, Nancy, any more question on the recipe? Then we'll move on to the interesting part also, mga hobbies ni.
Oh, you forgot to mention the pakwan, Nancy, the matamis na pakwan, the rind
so
of the pakwan.
Yeah, can you describe it? Ano ba yan? I'll show the pakwan, no?
Yung matamis na pakwan, di ba, you eat the pakwan. So don't throw away yung balat. Don't throw away.
Kinakain ba yan? Kinakain?
Yeah, minamatamis ko yung balat. Yung balat, ginagawa ko, binababad ko yan sa lihiya for about, 8 hours. And then I wash it very well. And then, pinapa-caramelize ko yan, what do you call that? May asukal na siya, minamatamisan ko. With equal amount, ilagay niyo yung inyong balat na nakababad sa lihiya, then you wash it, and then ilagay niyo sa kaldero. Ang measurement ng sugar and water depende sa size ng kaldero. So if you put 10 cups of water, you put 10 cups, 1:1 is the ratio ng sugar. That is for the balat. But there is a very good Spanish origin to, ha? Itong buong pakwan na minamatamisan. Hindi atin yan. Spanish in origin yan. Minamatamisan ko rin yan ng buo. Pero pinupunasan ko muna ang balat ng lihiya. And then, after 3 hours or 8 hours, hinuhugasan ko mabuti. And then I put it in a casserole. Yun nga lang, dapat matiyaga ka. I put equal amount of water and sugar in the casserole para lumubog yung pakwan.
Yung buong pakwan?
Yeah, buong pakwan. So I prefer medium-sized pakwan. And then you boil it for 10 days. For 10 days, you bring it to a boil and then you simmer it for 30 minutes and put it off, leave it on top of the oven. Do it again for 10 consecutive days. I tell you, ang sarap niya. May oven eh. Masarap siya. Matamis na pakwan. Do it 10 days.
Benta mo na lang. You sell it so they can... Why don't you sell it?
Well, haven't tasted one. Pwede pala talaga yun. Galing Thanks for sharing.
The balat you have tasted. Nancy, I did that for Cabecera and Danshas. I did that in Pino.
I never tasted it.
Sige, may ikutama ko sa inyo.
Now, so before we move to your other hobbies, Miss Edith, what do you think is the Filipino culinary DNA? How would you define it, our culinary DNA?
Well, the Filipino culinary DNA, we have our own DNA. Well, syempre, it's an influence ng colonization. Kaya we have dishes influenced by the Spaniards, Mexican dishes. But if you will really trace it down, yung mga ninuno natin, they really made good Filipino dishes.
What about Binyan food?
Oh, Binyan food.
Special.
Oh,
Different.
yeah, well, I would say it is not just put. It's not just puto or
Yeah.
kuchinta or atole. Atole is maha mais, and it's not about
Ah.
sinukmane. Yeah, atole is mais, and then it's not about sinukmane. Sinukmane is biko, and it's not about the pospos and gota de Mangtonio, which was very popular then. No, I would say Binyan cuisine is soul food. It's home cooking passed on through generations.
Ano yung
And
secret ng ukoy sa Binyan?
the secret of Okoy, rice flour.
Ah.
I did
The
that
type of
as a,
rice flour.
hindi ba parang kwan yan, starter sa kabisera ng dishes? Remember, I used dried hipon, and then it's a mixture of rice flour. Kaya siya malutong.
Oh, I
It's
see.
rice flour. And I would say, most of the dishes served sa amin sa Binyan, they come in pairs. Let's say, yeah, let's say chicken pork adobo is paired with sinigang na kandule or ayungin sa bayabas. Sinigang na bayabas, yeah. I like the batchoy. The batchoy is made of, you make isa bawang, sibuyas, the ginger, and then you add kidney, sliced kidney, and then it has atay and lapay, and with kinchay, and then put a broth, parang siyang tinola. But you know, we pair that with kisola. Do you know what's kisola? Kisola is a fried dalag, mudfish, and then you saute the garlic, onions, tomatoes, and then you put back the dalag, the fried dalag, you put a little water, and you put potatoes and cabbage or pechay.
Okay.
And
May question. Okay. Go ahead.
And I would remember our ensalada. Alam mo yung ensalada namin? Talaga talagang nakakamiss. It's made of talbos ng mangga or talbos ng siniguelas mixed with onions and tomatoes and salted egg na nagmamantika or quesong puti. I miss that. I miss that so much.
Wow,
Ang
sarap.
dami naming food pairing.
Tita, taga San Pedro lang kami Taga San Pedro lang kami. Malapit kami sa
San Pedro ka ba? I live very near the fishing village. Kaya every afternoon, pero naglalako na nasa Bilao or Bacol. Oh, hindi siguro alam ni Anton kung ano ibig sabihin ng Bacol.
Oh, ano?
It's a
Anton,
basket.
alam mo?
Hindi, ano ba yun?
It's a basket.
It's a basket. Wait, marami nagko-comment. I'll have to pull them up and shout out. So Maridol Gasang is watching. Hi, Tita Edith.
Hello.
Sweet Sherry was asking how to keep the crispiness of lumpia, ma'am. And para saan daw yung lumpia? Oh, lumpia.
You mean lumpiang perito? Well, as soon as you fried it, you put it on paper towel.
Yeah.
And please, don't make kulob. Do you know what I mean by don't make kulob? You let it be aired. Para hindi siya makuna. Pag inulob mo yan, makukunat ang balat.
Yes.
If you cover it, kukunat yung balat niyan.
Can I add something to that? Anything that you fry, lagay nyo, after that, you put it on paper, like what the Japanese do with their tempura. They put it on paper or, as you said, paper towel. Tapos, like yung sa lechon, yung iba nagkakamali, binabalot in plastic or foil.
Yeah.
Kaya pagdating, makuna. Yeah, you have to use paper so that the paper absorbs the condensation and the steam.
Okay. Lorna Stan said, I miss your cooking. Hello from San Francisco.
Oh, my favorite, my co-body in traveling around the world. Hello, Lorna, I love you, I miss you. I miss our travels. I miss,
Oh.
if there is one thing I really miss these days, traveling. Talaga nakakalungkot.
And then Regina said, I agree, no? Binyan cuisine sounds so interesting. Ako nga, kapitbahay lang namin, I'm so interested now to explore, no? Kasi in the past, parang puto and kutsinta lang. Marami pa lang mga, heirloom recipes sa Binyan. So, we'll continue to explore this. Yon, any other thing, Nancy? We'll talk about the paintings, no, in the sketches. But
Pero
any other things?
meron pa eh. Like, let's say, leading to the painting, sabi mo, I love to travel. The moment na COVID-free na tayo or travel-free, where's the first destination?
I was supposed to travel October of 2020 the starting point is Rome. I've been to Rome 3 times. Then we go to Naples, go to, what is this? Athens. I've been to Athens, but anyway, I love to go back. And I haven't been to, I've been to Holy Land sometime before year 1990s. So I really love to go back to Holy Land. Yun dapat ang aming travel good. The refund yung aming deposits. But the next trip for that is October 2022.
Sino naman ang traveling companion?
Always my good friends. Lorna Stan, Mel Kasingal, Ate Luz Bitong. Ate Luz Bitong is already 89 years old. And she said, if we will travel by 2022, I might not be able to walk anymore. Kawawa naman yung matanda. Napaka-healthy niya to travel. I think she can still travel at age 90.
Okay.
Galing wait, before we go to the paintings, no, because we want to show some of the paintings. What's your answer nga for the standardization of adobo? So okay lang ba yon? What they're doing with DTI, standardizing the recipe. What do you think with that initiative?
Nancy, you answer that.
Hindi, nag-pisma na nga ako eh. Ikaw?
I would say standardization, it's a guide. Para lang guide sa inyo on how to do it. Now, you know better than the guide. Go ahead. Do it the way you like it. As I said, in Binyan, we do adobo with kasubha. Others, they do it with luyang dilaw. Others, they do it with a lot of soy sauce and a little sugar. So, bahala na kayo.
Siguro ang pwedeng i-standardize, Anton, will be the presentation. Para hindi nakakatakot tignan yung adobo. Maybe present it. They can show us how to present it nicely. Diba? Okay. Sayang naman yung pagluto ng masarap na adobo tapos mukhang mamamatay ka na sa pagkain mo after eating it. But anyway, the move from your being actually you move from housewife to a test kitchen cook at that time, to a chef, to a professional chef, and to a trainer. And how, ang layo naman ng painting? Or meron bang connection yan?
Oo, pandemic lang ba yan o matagal na?
No. I started painting in 2014. My husband died in 2011. And I was super lonely. I have to be busy. Yun lang yun. I studied also violin lesson, just to keep me busy. Tapos pumasok ako sa painting. I started with watercolor, and then I went to acrylic, and then I went to charcoal painting, and then go back to watercolor, which is my love talaga, watercolor. And now I'm doing pencil drawing. Pencil drawing is my latest online class.
Talk to us some more about your paintings. What inspires you? Who inspires you?
Well, ang personality ko, you know me, Nancy. I'm so vibrant. Biski sa mga paintings ko, nakita mo, very vibrant yung mga colors.
Yes.
Yeah, yun ako, yun ang personality ko. Not a down moment.
Okay.
I did 2 exhibits. I did one sa restaurant in South de Rosario at 25 Zids. I was able to sell all my paintings, about 28 or 30 of them. And then after that, I got so many commissioned works. And they call me commissioner. Oh, that is what I did for Nancy. Nancy, show it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked
Nancy,
Edith,
there's Nancy.
but I didn't like my whole face to be seen. So I think mas may drama yung gusto kong ganyan. So it's now here in our kitchen. Thank you,
In
Edith.
Houston. In Houston. Thank you, Nancy. You make me
And
so
then-
proud, Nancy.
Marami pa. Yan. See?
Mga food, no? Of
Yes.
course.
Ayan
Mga
pa.
religion.
May iconics din siya. I
Oo.
think
Oh,
that
that is
is
Big
belong
Chef Day Salonga.
Day Salonga.
It's a painting that was commissioned by Day Salonga. Ang
Yeah.
ganda niya. I like it. Mukhang tuyot
Ang ganda.
talaga siya.
I like nga the Filipino food eh. Mga food.
Oh, I have tinuguan also. It's with Ricky
Wow.
Francisco, I think. Yeah, I think with Ricky.
Ito, sinong gumawa nito? How did you
Nako,
make this?
hindi ko kakilala yan. I did that, pero I do not know her.
Ganda, self-portrait of the artist.
What about the paintings you were going to use for your new book?
Yeah, hindi pa tapos. For every country, I try to paint the landscape of that country. Hindi pa nga ako natatapos. I think I did more because I think I did about 28 countries.
Yeah.
Wow.
When would that together may kasamang recipe yon?
Yes, definitely. Talagang ang show doon is are the recipes for each country. Around 45 recipes for each country that I visited.
Wow.
Well, modesty aside, I visited about 51 countries already. But in that cookbook, siguro mga 30 countries yung present ko.
Wow,
Okay.
galing ah. Regina said, I have seen a lot of her paintings and I'm bowled over her exquisite artistry. Truly amazing. Galing ah. Galing ah.
Thank
So-
you, Reggie. I miss you. When are you
So,
coming back home?
Ano na ngayon? Cooking ba o painting?
I do bake because I don't want to order online. Takot ako sa nagde-deliver. Talagang may phobia ako. So I really try my best to bake what I want to eat.
Baka naman makalimutan mo na magluto.
No, I still bake. I still cook. Yun nga lang, of course, I miss my Sunday cooking. Usually the children, they come around during Sundays.
Yes.
That's the family bonding Sunday meals, no? And I am really the one preparing the meals for them.
Give us an example of a menu, of a Sunday menu.
A Sunday menu, the favorite, paella. Paella is a good, yeah, paella is good. The
Ano yung-
chicken Veronique. You know the chicken Veronique? It's French. The favorite of my eldest son, Joey. I put canned seedless grapes and cream. Masarap siya kinabukasan. It's chicken cooked in white wine. Mixture of white wine, yung sabaw ng seedless grapes, and sa end noon, I put a little cream. That's very
Chicken
good.
Veronique.
Chicken Veronique. When you say Veronique in French cooking, it's cooking with grapes.
Okay. Wow.
All right. So who will carry on the recipes sa mga anak mo? Are there some is your family in the culinary, the next generation, or what's happening ba? Are the younger ones interested in this or hindi ba?
I really do not know. I really do not know. And I feel sad about it. I don't think Ramona will follow. Well, my eldest son can. And my bunso also, Dean Singian. I think he can.
No, your
Hopefully,
grandchildren
of
will
course.
carry on.
Yeah,
Your
I hope my
grandchildren.
grandchildren. I hope my grandchildren.
Okay. All right. What would you like to do next? Let's say, what is on the top of your mind? Being a very busy person, you don't stop doing anything. Di ba, you like to do everything. What's the next adventure?
Next adventure, siguro pag-uusayan ko yung violin lesson. It takes time also, ha? The violin lesson, it takes time. Tsaka medyo
Galing.
masakit ito. Medyo masakit. But I think I want to perfect the violin. Oh, yeah, the violin.
Okay.
Oo,
And of
galing,
course,
no? Sabi nga nag-aaral ng violin this pandemic, eh.
Bakit?
Diba?
Hindi ko maintindihan.
Actually may isang wala ang ganda lang eh. Some people use it as greeting. For example, pag birthday, they sing a happy birthday song. Maganda. I mean, it's romantic, 'di ba? Violin.
The Nancy, sing the adobo cha-cha-cha. Come on. Kahit konti lang, sige na Nancy, please. Sing.
All right.
Nancy.
Before singing it, i-preamble mo muna o hindi?
Ano?
May request si Editha.
Yeah.
Sing the adobo song daw. Sing
Hindi. You have to watch it in the next coming episodes. Exclusive dito.
Wow. I don't miss your shows, huh? I don't.
Thank you. Galing. I'm so inspired. I mean, for a long history of career, still active until now, no? And this is actually one of the reason I wanted to do these shows, no, with Nancy. Kasi you want to know who are those parang OG, well, in the young term, OG, no? Mga original gangster in in the culinary field. And of course, you're one of those, especially in the recipe culinary. And now, of course, painting, di ba? Galing, no, Nance?
Pero when you talked about a lot about culinary DNA, I want to know what is your taste profile? The Edith Singian taste profile. What is your malinamnam?
Yeah, for the umami, it's still a mixture of, of course, the saltiness, a little of that sweetness, and sourness. Basta it's a mixture of the typical Filipino dish.
So, ano ang favorite dish mo that represents everything that you like in a masarap?
One is chicken relleno, and the chicken relleno is the same recipe for my embutido. Kung ano yung feeling ng chicken relleno ko, yun din ang feeling ng embutido ko, which I baked in the oven. And my secret ingredients there, of course, the chorizo Bilbao, the El Rey chorizo Bilbao, and I put capers, I put olives.
I always wanted to ask, saan ka nagde-debone? From the likod ng manok or from that breast?
No, I debone it from the opening itself, below the breast. Kung ano yung opening, doon ako nag-start, and then I go to the tail. Kaya ko i-debone yan. Walang 10 minutes, one chicken.
Wow.
Challenge yun. Kailangan natin i-video yan.
Gusto mong matutunan, Anton.
Oo. Well, let's do a video of that. Well, see, the beautiful chef Salonga Datu, ang gaganda ng ninangs namin.
Wow.
Inaanak ko yan. Thank you, Jill, my inanak. My favorite
magaling din magluto yan eh.
With Dino Datu. And Jill bakes so well. And Dino cooks so well. My boss in Cook Magazine.
Okay. So, we want a cookbook of your savory dishes. Meron bang ganon?
Yeah, I have to. I'm coming out, which I call, the first book is Sweet Temptations. This one, I'm calling it Wanderlust Temptations. Kasi nga, about my travels.
Actually, we should also be inviting Regina one of these days kasi she does naman coconut coconut milk, coconut cooking. Di ba?
Yeah, invite Reg.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sino pa? Ano pa ang gusto nating malaman? Ang daming secret eh. Yung sa
I
relleno.
never keep secrets in my recipes. I never keep secrets. I really put up, if only I can put down even the brand, which is very necessary. You have to know the brand in the recipe. Like in my
Bakit nga wala?
Yeah, in my cookbook, if I mention evaporated milk, that's alpine. If it's condensed milk, that is milk made. And if it's cream, it's just like, napaka-importante sa cookbook ang alam niyo yung brand. Otherwise, wala, it will not come out as good.
Okay. Wow.
Galing. Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Anton,
And,
naiintindihan mo ba lahat ng mga recipe na kwento? When was the last time that nakaano ka ng relleno?
meron naman, syempre, relleno, favorite namin yan. At saka ngayon, I think maraming tao nga nasa bahay lang and talagang they're really interested to cook their own food, no? And bake na rin talaga. Siguro dati, kung nagpapadeliver pa yung iba, ngayon, a lot of people are really wanted to do it themselves, no?
Yes.
Alam, na-realize nila, kaya ko pala to. Why not we do another one? So that's why I think...
You know what I can say, Anton? I have a column in Facebook. It's called Senior Moments, no? And I got good followers already. I suggest if you want a recipe or two, just send me through Facebook Senior Moments, and I will be glad to share with you the recipes.
Meron ka pala ganon. Hindi mo
Senior Moments.
Okay. Bakit? Senior ka na ba? Senior ka na ba?
Oh, I never hide my age, ha? I'll be 74 come November.
May asim pa.
What? Wow, galing ah. Wow.
I'll be 74. I never hide it.
Alam mo bang ibig sabihin ng may asim pa? Baka hindi. Baka hindi sinigang yun, ha?
Ano ang ibig sabihin niyan? Miss Adobo
Ibig
Queen?
sabihin, it means like a fruit na hindi pa hinog na hinog. Batang-bata pa. May asim. So, bata pa, di ba? Yan!
Miss Edith, Senior Moments is a Facebook group or it's a page?
It's a page. It's a group. It's a group.
It's a group. Okay.
And you're the host. You're the host.
I'm the admin. That was
okay.
created by Ramona for me.
All right.
Wait, I'll share it para no, kasi it's very important na. I'm sure a lot of people wants to know more about it. No? Ito ba yan? Is this a group?
Yes. And I never hide, I never hide the ingredients or whatever. Yeah, that's one. Join that group, and if you have any questions on the recipes, I can easily share the recipes.
Okay. Not everybody has the chance to get to this close to Edith and her secrets. And it's so nice that you're here in Awesome Planet. Awesome.
And then we'll share the
My pleasure.
recipe.
It's my pleasure.
We'll publish the recipe of the hamon. Okay. All right. Galing. So inspired, and maybe Edith, let's do some more collaboration. I want to know how do you debone the chicken, do the dinuguan, whatever, no? We can do like some demonstration. I think ako favorite ko rin dinuguan. So
I did dinuguan. I did dinuguan during what month was that? The Filipino festival with Iggy Ramos. I was a guest with Pia Lynn Castillo.
And then naalala ko yung sa kay Dang Reyes of Philippine Airlines, di ba? Yung dinuguan was reserved for presidents lang. Parang presidential dinuguan. And I remember my mom, kasi from Bicol, they have their own like dinuguan recipe. Ang sarap pero hindi niya na ginagawa kasi ngayon.
Ano yun? May gata ba yung sa Bicol? May gata?
May gata.
May gata siguro.
Okay, I have one more question. What is the proper way of cooking with gata para hindi mapanis? Kasi ang gata, ang bilis mapanis.
Well, they said while cooking, you keep on stirring. While cooking, keep on stirring.
Okay.
That is what I know. That's what I know. I don't know if that is right. I haven't tried shelf life cooking with coconut. Siyempre, kung mga kakanin, matagal din naman, no? Basta keep it refrigerated.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Maraming salamat. And just to close our conversation, any final message for those people, aspiring to do to create recipes, or even to the younger generation on appreciating our Filipino culinary DNA?
Pwede ba munang sumingit?
Oh, sige.
I would like to say something about Edith na the reason why sometimes, some people, they retire and they retire everything that they've done. But look at Edith, from cooking to painting to violins to travel, that is what keeps her youth. And you're an inspiration kasi, you don't let age define you. Eh, talo ka pa nga nung 89 years old, 84? Oh,
Yeah.
Mga ganong women are the ones I admire so much because they know how to put adventure into their lives. They don't just sit down and start growing old.
Yeah. Keep yourself busy. Especially now during lockdown.
What?
Especially now during lockdown, I suggest discover and enjoy home cooking.
Ay, may isa pa akong kwento. May time pa ba tayo, Anton?
Sige lang.
Nung nagka-ondoy, kwento mo yung nangyari sa bahay mo.
God.
The floating refrigerator.
Oh, ano
During
nangyari?
ondoy, I'm so blessed. That time, ginagawa namin yan ni Nancy, yung recipes for Saba sardines. For flyers, di ba, Nancy? Flyers yung Saba sardines. So in return, nirigaluhan ako ng isang kahon na sardinas, isang kahon na squid, in short, around 5 boxes, no? So, during yung doy, inakyat namin isa-isa sa hagdan yung isang one. And then, hanggang we reach the 5th level, I think. And the refrigerator, bumagsak. Good, ang lumabas, rellenong manok. Because that time during the undoy, I think it happened in September 26, and my son's birthday was September 24. So I did chicken relleno and I kept it in the freezer. Aba, ay bumagsak from the freezer, relleno pan manok. I was eating relleno manok during undoy. I gave away to my neighbors, I tell you, the canned, through the kindness of Saba. That's it. That's my story of undoy.
Imagine, bumukas na lang yung ref tapos meron siyang biglang blessing na relleno in the midst of all the baha.
So, fine dining pa rin ako during the baha. I was eating at the terrace at the second floor with all the cutleries and, of course, the chicken relleno during undoy.
Okay.
Galing Joel Pascual said, ang ganda naman ni Tita Edith. Ganda.
Oh, thank you so much, Joel. I miss you.
And Regina, final message. Nancy is so right. Edith has remained vivacious, and she's my inspiration. I'm actually honestly inspired also with the story. Ang galing ng mga, and I'm glad to get to have this discussion with you. And for all the people watching on the live stream,
Yes.
thank you so much for watching. Please share this to your family and friends. We'll post the hamon recipe. We'll do that, no? Especially for this bird season. Any final message, Nance?
Continue what you're doing and add more hobbies so that don't get old. Defy gravity.
Yeah. Don't be idle. Keep yourself busy. with whatever you want to do. Do it now. Do it now. Don't be idle.
Yes. Congrats. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And
Oh,
of
it's
course,
my pleasure, Anton, to be with you, Nancy. My pleasure indeed.
Thank you. Maraming salamat. Thank you for all those watching. Ang daming marami kang fans nanonood. Maraming salamat. And thank you. You know, make sure to share. Go to Senior Moments. If you need like recipes and to have a discussion with Edith directly. All right. My name is Anton Diaz. Wait, may mga nagko-comment pa. Congrats! Si Ige is watching, of course.
I love it. I love it.
mo.
Yeah, you know, if there is somebody who writes good recipes, I'm sorry to say not all chefs can write good recipes, and Ige can write well. That I can vouch talaga.
Bakit love team ba kayo?
Hindi ako nahirapan pag-edit. I did a cookbook on pasta, collaborations of about 30 chefs. Ige was the best in recipe writing.
All right. Maraming humabol ng comments. Lorna Stan said, congratulations to a very educational show.
Yay!
Dong said, thank you for sharing with us your happy disposition in life regards to Ramona. Of course. And then, of course, Regina said, thank you. Thad Day said, missing you, Tita Edith.
Oh, I miss you, Thad. I miss you, Thad. He's in New York. Thad's in New York.
He's in New York. Okay.
So
Christina
he's in New
said,
York.
looking forward to seeing you soon. Our beautiful and gorgeous Tita Editha. And of course, Ige, grabe. May cookbook rin niyang ilalabas. Thank you for doing this interesting, Nancy. And maraming salamat. Hassel. And of course, Ginoong Jose Benigno Salvador. Maraming salamat.
Oh my. Nasa puso ko yan si Jim. Nasa
Jose Rizal, Benigno Aquino, Salvador Dali.
Alright. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Tinatawag ka na ng airplane mo. Dumadaan na yung airplane sa taas. Bye-bye.
We love you, Edith.
Bye. Love you all.
Bye-bye. Can you do a short clip?